You know, sometimes when I'm recording in front of these shelves and I notice that there's gaps, right? In some of the shelves where games could go, but there aren't games there yet. I wonder if it looks kind of weird, that they're not packed to the brim. I don't know. Maybe it just looks a little more natural, frankly. Like not packed to the brim, but maybe, room for new things to come in. It's fine, right? I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure you don't care. Anyway, hi, welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and this is going to be a quick news and updates video with a contest at the end to give away a game. So stick around for that, right? First of all, I just wanted to thank everyone who took the time to watch and comment on the two videos that I released talking about some changes I wanted to introduce, particularly to the intro and outro of the tutorial videos, and also the idea of retiring the polo. So thank you for all the feedback because it was really helpful. I think after a few different attempts at a new intro, I think I found kind of the format that works. And a lot of that was guided by feedback I was receiving as I was trying those different trial runs. So again, thank you. It meant a lot to have your sort of support as I figured that out. Now, there is going to be a kind of a funny little hiccup to this whole thing in a way because I had shot a tutorial video before I made those changes. It was a tutorial video for Crisis, but the publisher didn't want me to release it right away because their fulfillment for the Kickstarter and then the retail release got delayed and pushed out. So they said, hey, can you please just delay putting out the video until we actually have copies or getting close to having copies to sell? And I said, sure. But then I made all those changes. So you're going to see a video hitting the channel next week, actually, at the time of this recording, where I'm still wearing the polo. It's more of the older traditional intro, outro, whatever. So if you like that or you preferred that more, well, you're going to get a nice little throwback there to that older format. So just if you see that and you're like, wait, this doesn't look like the last 4 or 5 tutorials. What's going on? It's a continuity error. It's a continuity error, as they say. So hopefully it's not too distracting. You can still just kind of enjoy the tutorial for what it is, even though it's going to seem a little out of place if you've been watching our channel chronologically. All right, so moving right along, I just wanted to mention that in March, things are going to be a little strange. I'm doing a fair bit of travel in March for the channel, and that means my typical shooting schedule is going to be somewhat disrupted. Now, I'm shooting some extra videos in February so that during March, I'll have videos to release. So hopefully, for the most part, on the surface, it will seem like things are just normal, even if underneath things are just crazy and chaotic. Kind of a metaphor for life, I suppose, if you think about it. Anyway, I've got some tutorials I'm really excited to be sharing with you in March, maybe 2, maybe 3. So there might be a week there where you don't see something releasing, and that's why. But of course, we'll be back to a regular schedule after March. And now one of the reasons why I'm going to be away is because I'll be attending the AirCon convention in Harrogate from March 8th to 10th. Now this is located near Leeds-ish in the UK. And I went to this convention last year as a guest. They very kindly invited me back this year, and I'm really excited to be going again because I really enjoyed this convention. It's very gaming focused. There's also a retail area. There's a big library full of games. Of course, lots of people bring games. I found everyone super friendly. If you're a first-time attendee at a convention, I think this is a very friendly convention for that. And yet there's lots of gamers there. So if you want a little bit of a spectacle, there's also that too. There'll be over 1,000 people for sure, maybe even, maybe 2,000. I don't know. We'll see. If you're in the nearby area, I'd love for you to check this out, maybe consider attending. I'll put a link in the description below so you can check out the registration and all that sort of thing. And hopefully I'll see you there. Speaking of things to check out, Board Game Geek and Zoom Out Media are working together to produce a documentary about game designers. And it's called The Game Designers. So kind of self-explanatory there, I suppose. But it's going to be following the stories of 5 different designers, some veterans, some up-and-comers, and showing how they go from the process and the challenges that they face, taking a game design they have and getting it to the point where it's a game filling up the spaces on your shelf with, right? And I'm somebody who's always loved seeing behind the scenes of things that I have an interest in. And so this promises to be a good dose of that. Now, I should mention I do a lot of work, obviously, with Board Game Geek. I'm not directly involved in this documentary in any way. I don't get any kind of personal kickback from it. But I do have a good working relationship with them, and I would love to see this succeed for them. Now, it's already funded, but you can still donate to pick up either a digital copy or physical copy or other perks that can come along with it. And the more funding they get, the more stretch goals they'll unlock, allowing them to create additional content to put into this documentary. So if this sounds like something that would be interesting to you, you can go check out the teaser trailer for it. They've shot a lot of the content already, and it's supposed to be delivering later this year in September. So they'd love your support, and I'll put a link to the Kickstarter in the description below so you can check it out. Now, if you'd like to see behind the scenes of Watch It Played, or really just kind of my life in general, I actually have a separate vlog. It's not on this channel, it's a separate channel, and I'll put a link to that in the description below if you'd like to subscribe and follow along. Now, something else I wanted to mention in this news and updates was my frequently asked questions video. I have 2 or 3 of them I made quite a long while ago to try to answer some of the more common questions that I get here on the channel, and those are due to be updated, long overdue, really. But one of the questions I get frequently, I'd just like to kind of address here, and that question is, Rodney, are you planning to do a tutorial for Game X? Where Game X is, whatever game they might have an interest in seeing a tutorial for. But I've had to adopt, I don't know, let's call it a policy, I guess, where I don't answer that question ever. Because the reality is sometimes I might plan to do a game and then I decide later I don't want to. Or circumstances change. So the game I was going to feature doesn't actually get delivered in time, and then I have another game I was scheduled to do that is here, so I do that one instead, and then this other game keeps getting bumped and bumped and bumped until it just falls off the list entirely. But there's another element to this as well, which is that if I say, yes, I'm doing Game X, that person might be inclined to write me a week later and go, what about Game Y? Or what about Game Z? Or Z? Or, whatever, however you want to say it. And that just creates this sort of endless chain of emails that can be kind of difficult for one person to manage. And I really do my best to answer all the comments and questions that we receive on this channel. So I thought maybe I could kind of head some of those questions off at the pass by just sort of generally explaining here why I don't answer that question, and then having this section of the video that I can link to when I get this question in the future and just go, hey, I'd love to answer your question, check this out. Because that's a lot easier than typing out everything I just said. Does that make sense? I always feel bad. I don't like to seem like I'm being secretive or obtuse. Now, sometimes when I'm at the point where I'm scripting the video, well, then I know what's going to happen. And at that point, I'll choose to pre-announce. And usually I'll do that on Twitter or Instagram, which you can find us at Watch It Played, or on Facebook, which just search for Watch It Played and you'll find our page for that. Also, I'm going to be at Gamma in March, and there's going to be a lot of announcements of games that are coming out. And so if you have an interest in seeing kind of like what are the new releases on the horizon, you might want to follow us on our social media for that reason anyway, because I'll be posting pictures and sharing things as I find them out, and maybe that's something you'd have an interest in seeing. Also, if you're just curious to know what tutorials we've featured in the past, we have a pretty up-to-date Wikipedia page. And I'll put a link to that in the description of this video as well, and it lists all the tutorials with a little link that will take you to a direct link of that video. So that might be helpful as well when you're trying to see which games we've featured and maybe which ones we haven't yet. All right, you know what? You've been very patient listening to what I had to say here, and I really appreciate that. So let's have a contest. Let's give away a game. One of you is going to win this game, Crisis, and we're doing a tutorial for this game that's releasing next Tuesday at the time of this recording. And so to enter the contest, all you have to do is go to the link in the description below and enter your email so I can contact you if you're the winner. And then you also have to put in a code word. And the code word will be the last name of one of the designers here. So the 2 different designers, we'll say the last name of Pantelis. There's Pantelis and Soteris. Pantelis's last name will be the code word to enter into this contest. And you'll have until end of day, March 15th, 2019 to enter. And then sometime after that, when I get back from my travels, I'll do a draw to give away this copy. Otherwise, that's everything I had to say in this one. So until the next video, thanks for watching.